Hey everybody, welcome back to Terps Esports, live from College Park. My name is Lily.
And my name is Hayden, and it's a very special night as the game changes are changing things up for a very, very special and spooky Halloween stream.
That's right, Hayden. In our pre-show, we'll get you ready for the game by running through some player stats along with some interviews.
For this match, the Terps will be facing off in a grueling and ghostly best-of-3 against Clark Esports. Now it's time for us to introduce you to the trick-or-treaters of the team along with their stats. We'll be looking at their scare death ratio and how much candy they rack up per round, or better known as their average combat score.
All right, let's get started. First up is the team's duelist Savani. She's got an ACS of 230, an ADR of 149, and a KD of 1.2. Hey, Savani.
Hi.
Could you tell us what you are for Halloween? Who are you here as today?
So I'm a bear, as you can tell.
I like the bear onesie. It's very
Thank you.
cute. And what is your favorite Halloween candy?
My favorite Halloween candy would have to be Twix.
Valid take. I love me some Twix. Well, thank you. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
And now we have the team's flex player, Davy Jones. She has an ACS of 236, an ADR of 149, and a KD of 1.6. Hey, Davy Jones. Who are you dressed up as today?
My name is Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm going to be king of the pirates.
You are king of the pirates. And where does Halloween fall on your holiday tier list? Where would you rank it?
Probably number one.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm right
has
there
to
with
be
you.
up there. October.
I'm with you on that one.
Very spooky.
Well, good luck today. And next up, we have got Carrots. Carrots is the team's controller, and she's got an ACS of 221, an ADR of 146, and a KD of 1.3. Hi, Carrots.
Hi.
Can you tell us who you're dressed up as today?
I am Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians.
I love it. You look great. I
Thank
love the
you.
costume. And you are kind of the queen of coming in with great costumes. Could you tell me what has been your favorite costume you've ever worn throughout the years of Halloween?
I would definitely say high school year, like senior year of high school, I dressed up as Among Us, actually.
Oh, really?
And I had a whole helmet on, and I would definitely say that's one of my best Halloween costumes.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Well, good luck in your match today.
Thank you.
And moving on to the team's initiator, Trace. She holds an ACS of 198, an ADR of 128, and a KD of 1.3. Hi, Trace.
Hi.
What are you dressed up as today?
I am a panda today.
Yeah, I'll see the onesie themes going on. And could you tell me what your favorite Halloween song is?
Honestly, the only one I can think of right now is the Spooky Scary Skeletons.
That's a good one. Well, have fun in your match today.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Soap. She is the team sentinel, and she has an ACS of 184, an ADR of 122, and a KD of 0.9. Hi, Soap. Well, yet again with the onesie theme, but what onesie is this? Nice. I like the little bell we have going on in the zipper. Could you tell me what your favorite Halloween activity is?
Probably eating candy.
I relate.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I hope you have a fun match today.
Me too. Oh.
And now this brings us to our final player, who's going to be Hammy. She is the team's flex player, and she's got an ACS of 162, an ADR of 107, and a KD of 0.8. Hi, Hammy.
Hi.
I see we have another cow here in the
Yes.
studio with us today. Everyone's very coordinated. And could you tell me what your favorite Halloween movie is?
I would have to go with the classic Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love that movie. Tim Burton.
Mhm.
Always gotta go with a Tim Burton Halloween movie.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have fun in your match today.
you.
And that's all we have for our pre-show. Best of luck to all the players, and we'll catch you guys right back after a quick commercial break.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are about to head into the game shortly, but we actually do know what maps we're going to be heading into for the whole series.
Yes, we do. So first off, we're going to be starting with Abyss, and the Terps are going to be on Attack. Abyss is a pretty interesting map. We don't really see that map much often in the studio. Second map, we have Haven, and your Terps will be starting on Defense, and the third map will be Bind, with your Terps starting on Defense as well. So very, very good map pool tonight. Very exciting map pool, I think, with the Abyss, because that'll really showcase some new strategies that this team has been working on. But Haven and Bind are kind of a consistent pick.
Yeah, honestly, we don't see Abyss too much, so it's kind of excited. We're going to see it for our Halloween stream today. But honestly, not a lot of people's favorite map. Not my favorite map by far.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Abyss either. Just the fact that you can willy-nilly jump off the map whenever you... whenever it's like
yeah.
Not... it doesn't help.
Yeah, when I first started playing Abyss, I didn't know that the barriers around the protecting you from jumping off the map faded after round started. So I was like, oh, it's fine. I can just jump around. No, my comp teammates were not very happy with me. But hey, these players in the studio are certainly a little bit more knowledgeable about this map than I was when I was first playing it. But I'm super excited to see it. I think we're going to get really interesting comps because this isn't a map we typically see. So there's a lot of room for people trying out stuff. I really wonder if Carrots is going to play Chamber on this map.
Yeah, I mean, Chamber in and of itself is really good, especially holding down mid. Just mid control. That's perfect. I mean, there are a lot of other really good places for holding op or just operators. So I'm pretty sure Carrots will definitely give us a show tonight.
Yeah, she's been super good on Chamber, and if you guys were able to watch our Technica stream that happened on Saturday, you would know that because she popped off on Chamber on Saturday, and that was a super fun show match overall. If you guys got the chance to see that, University of Delaware came in for Technica, and we had a best of 3, and it did end up going to 3 maps, and the last map we actually did at Agent Roulette, which was really fun.
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm very sad I was able to, or I missed it, but I'm sure it was a very fantastic experience. But we'll be heading into game pretty soon. But in the meantime, what is your costume for Halloween? What are you going to be this year?
I am going to be Gunter from Adventure Time, and I'm going with Ice King. So we're gonna be a duo. I'm super excited.
Very good choice.
Yeah.
Like, Adventure Time's like one of those really good shows, like really good, like come to heart shows.
I love Adventure Time. Who are you gonna be for Halloween?
So I'm either between Anakin, like when he switches over to the Sith, but like kind of like still maintains that Jedi look to him, but just more of like a dark kind of sense of that, or Lord Business, because I feel like having a long red cape and some big stompers would be really funny to dork around with.
Hey, there's multiple nights to Hollow Weekend here in College Park, so you can
for sure.
You can do it all.
For sure. I mean, Halloween on Thursday, still have the Friday, and then all weekend.
Yeah, Hollow Weekend is real, and it's already come in College Park. I've been seeing people dress up already. We're all decked out in the studio, but last weekend into this week, it's been a vibe here. Yeah,
I've seen some pretty interesting things. I think probably one of the most creative ones I've seen is there's a movie where it's I think it's Talladega Nights.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Okay, I haven't seen it either. But the 2 main characters are both, I guess, NASCAR racers or something. But I saw 2 people dress up with the matching uniforms, which I thought was really cool.
I know. Halloween, favorite holiday. I love Halloween, and I'm really excited we get to do a Halloween stream because everyone's in costume, and look at this. Carrots always pops off with her costumes, and the rest of them are just in matching onesies, which is so adorable. I believe this was a impulsive Walmart stop before they came into the studio today. And oh yeah, we got Davy Jones, breaking the onesie trend. So
yeah, I mean, even just on the fact of Carrots' costume, she's very fantastic with just her artistic ability. That too.
Yeah, if you guys remember our Halloween stream from last year, Carrots came in with like a really cool steampunk outfit.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so she always comes in with super great costumes. She told me on Saturday that she was KJ at some point with a little beanie and a green yellow puffer, and she's just super creative. So always fun to have her in the studio on Halloween. And we have lots of Halloween snacks. We have lots of Halloween candy. We are well fed in terms of sugar. Everyone on the team.
And shout out to our broadcast director, CJ. He's dressed up as Star Trek tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys will get to see a shot of it at the end or not, but pretty cool costume as well. Got a lot of onesies. Our observer is in a giraffe onesie as well. Coach Dusty also rocking a onesie.
He's got a bear onesie, right?
Yeah, he's got a bear onesie. So, where is your chicken onesie?
Man, I might have forgotten it at home. I wish I could have brought it in because that would be very fitting for today.
Yeah, everyone's in onesies.
You live, you learn.
Yeah,
I'll definitely have it on hand next year, though.
Oh, we're gonna get a shot of CJ in his Star Trek suit. Look at that. We got Chris in the background.
Very sharp.
Everybody's all dressed up
for CJ there.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the dinosaur inflatable costume from Chris yet.
Oh, we might later tonight. I mean, there's no telling.
Stay tuned.
It's very possible. It might make an appearance.
We might find out. But yeah, so super fun Halloween stream as always with a GC gang. I think we had them in here last year as well, so it's always been a treat. But their season's going pretty well so far. They've had a lot to be proud about with the GC tournament, with just their performance overall. This team has been really strong this year.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. And on a quick side note, going back to Halloween, what is your favorite candy?
I love Milk Duds. Like, I know people say they taste like chalk. Listen, They're so good. And for some reason, I only see them on Halloween. I only see them in the little pack of 3. Oh my gosh, I love them. How about you?
That's a hard question. I think I have to go Reese's on that.
Really?
Reese's are those really big crunch bars.
Crunch. I love crunch bars. Oh, those are good takes. And here we are into Agent Select. I hear a lot of music coming out from the studio, so hopefully the team's getting
the traditional Fiend right before, or pregame Fiend by Travis Scott. It's pretty good pregame song.
Yeah, so they have got to get their spirits up before they head into this game against Clark Esports. Agent Select, no one locking in quite yet. I do see a Vice for the side of Clark, which would be interesting if they do end up locking in Vice, because we have not had Vice in the studio yet for Valorant games. So.
Right. I mean, Vice might be really good on Abyss. I think that might be her best map, to be, in my opinion at least. Just given how tall the walls are, gives you so much area to use the flash, and then especially with the fact that her wall. Really good defending ability, stopping pushes overall, but especially on just defense, because Abyss is I'd say a pretty attack-sided map, right? So you get a lot of those very aggressive rushes, and Vice would just help prevent that.
Yeah, I would love to see a Vice, because we really haven't seen her at all. And it's interesting how Riot tends to put out maps kind of unintentionally, but maybe intentionally paired with agents. Like when Lotus came out, Harbor, just super good on that map, and they came out around the same time. So it's kind of interesting how they do that, and I think you're right with that Vice calls. This might be the Vice map, since it's the newest map, and I feel like that tends to be the pattern we see. But for those of you who are not familiar with Vice's utility, I think her flash is super, super cool. You get to place it on a wall and then detonate it from a distance, right? But it's very different from the other flashes we see in the games in terms of like needing to be super close range in order to actually use them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a breach flash whenever you can pop it whenever you want to. It's very good for defending any kind of like choke, because if you want to peek, you have that advantage of just flashing right before you peek from some really odd angle and then trying to catch the enemies off guard.
And I think we're going to be heading into the game shortly now that I think we're done Agent Select at this point, so it'd be interesting to see who everybody did end up picking.
Yeah, I did see on the side of the Terps that they were going for. Yeah, and it did look like they stuck with the comp they hovered, but running that Omen, KO, Jet, Cypher, and Sova. I feel like that would be a comp that mirrors that of like Haven or something.
Yeah, it is looking very Haven reminiscent. We also don't see a Vice, so I'm a little sad about that, but more of a traditional comp from both sides being used here. The Terps are going to be starting off on attack, like Hayden mentioned. Off rip, they're met with a smoke right up in their faces. They try to take A site, which is defended by 3 players for Clark. Gonna force a rotate through mid. Mid is not really being defended right now. There is a Viper screen up there that Soap is trying to work around as we speak. But I think the rotate is just being read right now a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, trying to attack on A side is so hard because you have that one choke point that's your only entry on the site, unless if you can somehow sneak up through mid. But with like B site, you can attack from 2 different sides, like the little ledge or the main area that all the Terps are flooding through right now. And they are gonna plant Spike.
Spike planted.
Yeah, right now Clark just not in position to defend B site at all. Two of their defenders were on A up until Spike was planted, so now Terps are going to be in a post-plant scenario. They do have all players mostly on site with the exception of 2. One playing back for safety and the other looking mid. And it does look like
but Trace gets 2.
Yeah, she actually did find value mid. Savani, what a shot.
And Savani.
What a shot.
Beautiful headshots, and Davy Jones cleans up the round.
Wow, great just individual fights for UMD. Both Savani and Trace getting things off started with 2 kills each. Trace finding value sitting mid.
Yeah, just having the patience just to sit mid was huge because she capitalized off of getting 2 kills off of that. That's perfect.
Yes, we have Trace getting the 2, and then look at that from Savani, Sheriff, Demon. And that's going to give the Terps their first round win. They're going to buy up.
Looks to be a light buy, as still see a Ghost and a Sheriff. And there was some very light weapons, like I think there was a Marshal and then a Guardian.
Now this time, Terps showing aggression through mid, throwing just some KO utility, trying to get a read on who's defending it. I think they're kind of liking what they're seeing, as it looks like Savani's pushed up, but it's going to be met with aggression from the side of Clark as well, as they're just right on the other side of this Viper screen. Oh, so close. Everyone's just like hiding behind this box. Someone's going to peek through any second now, and then the alarm bells are going to sound for both teams. But Spike's in a really safe position for the Terps right now, so even if Savani does end up losing, UMD should be safe. It is a trade, though, from both sides. Terps coming on top of it numbers-wise, but they're still trying to fight mid here, but Trace is going to make things even more favorable for the Terps as she continues to walk. I mean, Savani just has a better angle and coming up on the back of this Jet, and she cannot quite come away with the win there, but her teammates are there to support her with Carrot and Soap both coming in a pinch.
Yeah, it was very, very good just to be patient there, because
gun here.
You know, having that Viper wall just allowed Clark to walk up and really kind of catch UMD off guard if they push through mid. But they just stayed a little bit, waited for some util to be thrown out, and they were able to react off of it very, very well.
Yeah, another great round for UMD, but this time they're not going to have the guns they want for the most part. Savani's got a Hero Vandal, but other than that, they're going to be met up against a full buy from Clark Esports. This time they're going to try their luck A yet again. The KO Knife's going to deny a smoke coming up, which is huge for UMD, but Savani, the entering duelist, gets taken down by the Jet. Regardless, Terps going to be able to get this bomb down because the Jet's forced to back up into safety behind the smoke, but they're a player down.
Having the Cypher mid is really huge. Soap does get one. Fights going off all around site.
And now the aggression is actually going to come from CT here, and they're just this Gecko's pushing up slowly but surely. It's going to catch Davy Jones off guard, and no, you hate to see that. And Terps lost their first round, and the issue was there for the retake.
Yeah, I mean, they had very, very good control of Heaven. I think just they were just a little unlucky in how they executed everything.
And I always hold my breath a little bit when I'm on that bridge on A, because it's just so scary. It's so easy to fall off if you're not being super, super careful.
Yeah, no, it's very, very anxiety-inducing. I remember Riot sent out a counter. I don't know how long ago, of the KD of Abyss. I think it was somewhere up in the like tens of millions.
That's so funny. Honestly, that's the thing with this map is you gotta not whiff your jump.
Get out of my way.
Okay, this time UMD still looking to take A side. The Omen Smoke not gonna come down quite yet either, which is kind of what caused Clark issues last time. Viper screen being thrown mid as it has been every round. Spike's down, so yet again the Terps are going to be in a retake, but the question this time is, can they hold it down better than they were able to the last time, especially with that Omen Smoke fading. It's going to leave them a little bit exposed to this Jet, who caused so many issues in the previous round.
Grounded.
But this time Savani just stops her in her tracks and going to continue to push through, but she does get taken down. Trace is there though, pushed way back into A, finds 2 picks for herself, but she's about to get pushed by this Omen, and I think she just spotted the Omen a little bit. Gonna probably continue to pursue that fight as she's in a very favorable situation, but gonna be a run away from the Spike and save your guns situation for both teams. And this time the Terps were able to do a successful A execute.
Yeah, I think the deciding factor there is they just had more bodies on the site to just contest, and they had a lot more control over the space that they had. Even they didn't have Heaven control, which is I think is crucial for playing Postman, but they had control over the entire site, and they very well defended any kind of push that came out of Heaven.
Yeah, they also just took care of CT last time, which is kind of where they found issues in the previous round. So once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to keep pushing out from A, this time met with aggression by the jet, but no one dies. Yeah, no one takes any damage even. It's just kind of, just, you know, them saying hey to each other and backing off, as it does look like the Terps are planning on backing off because Soap is taking space through mid, and they have Carrots just kind of sitting B, which is interesting because that might be their game plan since she's just kind of sitting there quietly, not really throwing any util or anything. Oh, but this Jet just dashed up into Soap's face, but she responds, pulls out her Vandal in the nick of time, and it is going to be a B execute for the Terps. Gonna invest a KO ultimate, but they've got to take care of the Cypher first. Cypher's able to down Davy Jones, but she's in her ultimate, so she can get res. Yeah, Carrot's gonna come in to res her teammate, and Spike does come down for UMD, but that Cypher is still alive. No Cypher utility on site per se, but they've got to just be aware of the positioning of the Cypher into Heaven, especially if you're Savani, because you're going to be so close to take that fight. Oh, Savani finds one. She gets traded, though. It's going to be a push in from Heaven. Damage is done to the Cypher, and with the flash coming in, Trace is able to find that pick, no problem. But they still have issues into Heaven, but it's no problem for the Terps and Davy Jones as they're able to find all the defenders.
Yeah, Savani just being posted up in that very aggressive angle, watching the Heaven and was that Market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just watching those pushes, but being able to get one and heavily damage the other just allowed for her teammates just to capitalize off of. Oh, we have so much advantage as they're pushing in.
And that KO ultimate from Davy Jones was huge to disengage any Cypher utility, because I think as soon as Carrots spotted that Cypher, said, hey, pop your KO ultimate in case there's a trip on the site. We gotta go. And then she was able to get res. So good round tactically, utility-wise for UMD, as it looks like they're trying their luck mid. Gotta work their way through that Viper screen, and the Viper's actually gonna find Davy Jones to start things off. That Spike has come down, but it's picked back up by the Terps, and they're forced to kind of proceed with caution here in mid, especially with shots coming through past that box.
They do have to be really careful for this round, because if Clark has an advantage, they can very well use the ults they have. But what a shot by Savani!
Wow, Savani is just clean with it. So she's able to make noise mid, but that is not going to be where the Terps' final destination lies. Instead, it's going to be a late B hit yet again. Our Cypher trips in the way this time. No K ultimate to disengage those, but no, the Gecko does not get a shot despite the Cypher trips, and now Terps have made their way yet again onto the site, but there's just so many people sitting just in that area right now, and they've just got to keep an eye on it. This time, Heaven's not going to be the problem.
Trace maybe doubling back, maybe looking for the flank, but I think it's going to be too late. Soap does get one through the box.
Yeah, and now Clark's made their way on site, and they're going to pop the Viper ultimate, but Trace is going to respond with a Sova ultimate. She's going to find a lot of value, 1 kill to be exact off of it. But Carrots gets traded. Now Trace is left in a 1v2, and that Cypher was just pushed up unexpectedly close.
Yeah, I don't think Trace is really expecting that at all. The Cypher was very low too, so if she just hit one shot, even if it was like running, then maybe she would have had a chance in that round. But I mean, the spike even still was planted. It was perfectly planted for them. Just a little unlucky, especially in that shot on Savani, just through the smoke. I believe we do get a very, very nice replay of this flick by Savani. What a beautiful flick.
Yeah, just amazing reaction time from Savani. And this time the Cypher actually changed their setup to be on A, which Terps might not be expecting, as it's been B the past couple of rounds. They are switching it up, trying to keep the Terps on their toes, but the question is, how will they respond? And this is looking very reminiscent of a couple rounds ago where Carrots is sitting B quietly, just kind of waiting. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a rotate, especially if they're not able to find an opening pick onto A.
Yeah, Clark looks like they have mid under complete control, especially from this double controller composition with both the Omen and Viper sitting in. And the Viper does take down Soap. That is their alert, but at the same time, the Terps are flooding in onto A site, and they do get the site. Just don't have much room to work with, and Savani does get a pick off of the opponent Jet may try to push through CT. This is a very ballsy play.
Here.
Yeah, everyone's just so close on the other side of the smoke. Trace gonna speak first, but Savani does get traded through that smoke. And now Trace is the only person left to watch CT here. She's about to get overwhelmed unless Carrot can help her out on the other side of things. And that's exactly what Carrot's able to do, but not before she gets traded down to a 1v1. Gonna be Trace against this Viper. Or it was a 2v1 actually, because Davy Jones is still in play here, but HP not looking good. She's just gonna have to play time, jump, try to play mind games against this Viper. Might just buy enough time, yeah, for the spike to detonate. And the Terps have won that round by a narrow margin. That was scary for Davy Jones with such low HP.
Yeah, but I mean, she played that perfectly, just not being able, or not trying to get in the way of any danger or have any damage taken. Just kind of playing around with the opponent Viper, maybe playing some mental games there, but very well played by them. And just holding CT like that with Trace and Savani, I would say very, very aggressive play. I'm surprised that they did that, but actually, why should I be surprised? Savani's been playing very aggressive, and it's working. And if Clark wants to do anything to stop that, they really got to figure something out before Terps just get a huge lead on them.
Yeah, slowly but surely the Terps are starting to gain a bit of a lead as they've gone on a run of a past couple of rounds. So they're looking to continue, the momentum that they've gained up. This time they're just kind of defaulting more than they have in the past. Gonna throw a KO knife, try to find a little bit of information, but not overcommitting, especially with that Cypher trip. So just kind of a matter of kind of sniffing out where this utility is. Haven't picked up spikes in the back, so wouldn't be surprised if we saw rotate either through mid or double back towards B where Kareth has been sitting.
Yeah, I think there definitely is going to be a rotate. It's going to be a full B hit, but they already have two players waiting for this. The Viper and the Gecko are ready to kind of contest site if need be.
And the Gecko's kind of pushed up back into heaven, and then Smoke's going to force him to back up way far. And Spike's going to come down. The Cypher utility going to kind of aid in their efforts there. The only person that UMD really got to be concerned about right now is this Viper who's kind of inched their way up on behind this boxes. Probably just going to wait for the rest of their team to throw a distraction in from heaven. And it will be actually a Gecko ultimate to try and get Clark back onto the site. But Soap has other plans as she's just wreaking havoc from heaven. But she does get traded, and there were so many Terps just dying left and right. Savani, Davy Jones responds. So Davy Jones actually finding 2 for herself that round, and Savani as well. So great job from those two. That round looked a little scary for a moment, but Savani and Davy Jones really came in the late stages.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that Savani's exactly where you don't expect her to be. Especially in that round. I mean, she was in smoke. She was everywhere. You could not find her at all. But she knew exactly where everybody else was. And I think that was one of the crucial parts, along with Davy Jones holding and locking down sight for post plant. That was probably the crucial 2 plays that they had to secure that round. And now they have plenty of ults to work with.
Yeah, and plenty of money. It was a crucial round for the economy as well, because all Clark really has is just a couple of sheriffs in their hands. Meanwhile, the Terps got all the ults in the world and a Vandal, so just all their ideal weapons. So they're just gonna use their utility all day and waltz their way onto this A site. With the exception of Soap, who was mid, but she gets taken down. What a shot by that Viper. Everyone else is going to play pretty safely for the most part. Carrots, Davy Jones trying to double swing into everybody on the side of Clark, and they found 3 on the other side of it. So they just have one more player left to deal with, CT, and another one coming in from main.
Last player standing.
Oh wow, so Davy Jones and Carrots actually both died, and now suddenly we're down to a 1v1, but not to panic because Trace is able to come and clutch that round.
Yeah, I mean, things looked down for the Terps once they lost those 2 first picks. I mean, it was a 3v5. That's not really what you want going into post plant. But
right here,
you know, they pulled up their muster and got the round win. Very impressive.
And this is interesting because now we're seeing a 5-person BXQ. I don't think we've really seen the Terps hit a site with 5 people yet, so I'm not sure if Clark's going to be expecting this, especially with ultimates invested. Savani gonna pull out those knives and try and take all the space she can. Just gonna creep up there, gonna be stopped by smoke a little bit, but regardless, just definitely senses her opponents on the inside the smoke, kind of waiting for them to peek out. But the rest of her team worked on getting that spike down, and now it's a matter of post plant yet again for the Terps. Soap's gonna back up and play safe into heaven, keep an eye out for a flank as well, but no, Savani gets taken down along with Davy Jones. That is the jet knives disengaged, also Carrots. Now it's just the 2 players who are trying to play safe left. They do have Soap utility to work off of, and their teammates are certainly going to be pinging that spike, and it's going to make things so difficult for Clark because they're just able to spam there. And Trace and Soap are doing such a good job, but the spike's almost diffused, and that one got away from them.
Yeah, despite it being a 2v5 there, they were still able to get it within 1 life. They did lose the round, but I mean, granted, they have a lot of money to work with, and they still have plenty of ults, so it very well could be a pretty expensive round going into this next one, just to get that win momentum back.
Yeah, because now Clark has a little bit more of a buy to work with than they have in the previous rounds. So this is going to be an important round for the Terps if they want to really stop Clark in their tracks before their economy gets too good. And it looks like they want to go back to their kind of old reliable plan here, which is spread everyone out, send Carrots B, 1 or 2 mid, the rest A, make noise A, and kind of see what happens based off of that.
Yeah, well, they've definitely got a lot of information already because of just the sightings and mid and figuring out where the jet is just by the KO knife, so they might end up look for a rotate here if they can find any more utility or information about where people are, because B is still relatively a free site, and if Carrot does get this kill, then that is a completely free site. But Spike's still towards A, staying calm and rotating, and it does look like they are going to switch towards A and get ready for an execute here. The Cypher is still set up here with the initial trick. Trick gets broken. Salty. Soap goes down. So does Savani.
Great job from this Jet. Oh my gosh, 3 kills. Finally, Davy Jones puts a stop to things. Does a lot of damage Heaven too, but there's only 2 UMD players left. But Carrots making that a 2v3 now. And actually, Davy Jones and Carrots are pretty spread out, and that means that Davy Jones is able to get picked off along with the spike. It just leaves Carrots, who's caught, not with their gun out, but it doesn't matter because she's able to get her crosshair there in time, but only down, just not enough time left to even plant the spike, so she's just going to run away to safety and keep that Vandal, and this was an important round for the economy.
Last round in the half. Nothing would be
I mean, going into the last round of the half, I mean, you want a fair fight in this.
Yeah.
But they're going to be down just a little bit in terms of economy, so they got to pull something together. They still have a decent amount of ults, and we are in a timeout right now. I'm guessing they're going to try to discuss. I'm like, okay, what's the plan for this next round? I mean, the default that they've been running has been working relatively well. Doing the we got a great coaches cam.
Coach and manager cam.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens in this next round, the Terps are going to come out on the... the Terps are going to come out on the other side of this half with a round advantage because they already believe they have 7 wins already. So just they're going to come out of this half on top. Of the question is, how can they keep this momentum going and kind of switch up things for their defense? I'm sure they're already starting to talk about that.
Here.
We get some funny action, some little trolling of the coach, Dusty. But even still, this is the Terps map pick too, so we still don't know what their defense is going to be like. For all I know, it could be just phenomenal. I mean, given how they played the attack already, it's very.
Yes, this should do.
Like, I don't want to say passive, but
it's very calculated.
Yeah.
And this time, gonna be another A execute. This time, Carrot does not be, but she's actually deep into mid thanks to her ultimate. Gonna flash through this wall, and this Cypher is right on the other side of it though, but it's all a distraction because the rest of the Terps are making their way towards A. Carrots though gets so much value and assists from Davy Jones's utility. But still, the Terps are not in a super comfortable position here. Spike is down, but that's kind of all they have going for them because the HP is looking dire for Carrots.
I think Carrots might just try to lay back a little bit and wait for a kill, but does get taken down. Davy Jones does take down the Jet, and it is a 2v2. They still have the Sova ult to work with.
And they're going to use that Sova ultimate, but Davy Jones doesn't even need it. She's able to find that Viper, and the Sova ultimate comes through to clean up the second. And that is going to put the Terps at 8 round wins heading into their defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, the Terps, even in the last half, look extremely coordinated, especially that last play right there. Popping the Sova ult as soon as, what was it, Davy Jones, right? Yeah, as soon as Davy Jones, like, locked eyes on both of the players on the side of Clark.
And now the question is, how are the Terps going to handle defense? They do have a Cypher, which is really good on this map, especially for that B setup, which it does look like Soap is doing as we speak. Does look like Savani and Davy Jones going to be a little bit aggressive off rip outside of A, but this will end up being a B execute from the looks of things for Clark, and I think Savani and Davy Jones are going to find that out shortly as they peek out. No one's there, so probably the calls for the rotate have to be coming through pretty soon, or maybe a flank by those two who are holding A. But they're just going to hope that Soap's Cypher utility is enough to kind of slow down Clark, just enough to wait for this flank that we might have cooking up.
Toxins going up.
Everything's really quiet. Clark is maybe trying to wait for somebody to push out.
And I don't know if UMD... I mean, they definitely know that Clark can't be A because look at our positioning right now. So I think they know exactly where Clark is, and it's going to be a B hit. All the alarm bells are going to sound as they try to make their way onto site. Wingman gets the plant down, and Soap and Carrots both get taken down. Going to put things at a 3v4, but HP looking kind of low for the Viper on the side of Clark. So if they're just able to get a sheriff shot, that would certainly do it, and that's exactly what Savani's able to do, along with the help of Davy Jones right beneath her. And now it's actually the Jet who's really low, and things are looking really good for the Terps, but things are not over. But not until Davy Jones is able to respond with a classic. And that was a great retake for the Terps, and I think they had Clark exactly where they wanted them.
Yeah, I mean, just waiting for an eternity on that flank.
Oh,
and
We are strong
Trace
because we are together. Don't forget.
does jump off the map. Maybe intentional,
I'm not sure.
unintentional.
We'll
Not
never
sure
know.
on that. But the fact that they waited so long, I think just kind of gave a sense to Clark of like, okay, they might all be here. But, I mean, they had to shoot the Cypher trip at some point. So, maybe it was as soon as they attacked, I'm guessing the Cypher wasn't that focused on where their trips were and just allowed Savani and Davy Jones to sneak up as fast as possible and put Clark in a pinch. But we do see Clark going into some sort of default, maybe trying to get a gun here. This Viper is a very, very good position and maybe catch Savani off guard, but Savani does see the shots, and beautiful shot, Savani. And Savani's just going crazy with a sheriff this game.
Yeah, she's been hitting all her shots exactly when she needs to. And we are in another position where I think UMD just really has a good read on where Clark is here. Savani's certainly about to have an even better read as she's about to potentially get swung by 2 attackers here, and she's able to escape with her life, but she's trying to still fight for it this time. Cannot come out alive on the other side of it. And Clark looks really split up here at a 2-2. They don't... Spike is actually going to be on B site, where Soap is going to call out to the rest of her teammates that is where the positioning is. Able to find the first, does a lot of damage to the second with a sheriff in hand. Gonna just wait for the reinforcements to come before she pushes any further. Oh, and Carrots is about to meet up with the Jet, but she does get taken down.
Tagged.
This round certainly
taken
isn't over for UMD, but Soap actually is going to just find 4 for this round. And what a round from Soap. She just held her ground onto B side. She was alone for most of that round on B, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, she was really able to win her ones there. Clark did not really play that well. I mean, they kept giving her a 1v1 after 1v1 after 1v1, and she has the better gun. She's going to win every single one of those.
One of my cameras is broken. Weapon here.
And now we're at 10-4, which is a great scoreline because we've won our first 2 defensive rounds, which is amazing for the Terps because now our economy's got to be good. We got to be building up those ultimates, and we're getting close to the end of the first map. So this is exactly where you want to be if you're UMD.
Yeah, the Terps did end up saving a lot of their guns from last round, so they still have a lot of breathing room in terms of economy, but
yes, this should do.
It's not looking too great for Clark. They have to pull something back here if they really want to get back into this game. I think saving and winning this round is crucial for Clark going forward.
We see a default for Clark. For the most part, they're playing just kind of passively. They're not really taking space anywhere. They're just kind of looking down sites, seeing, you know, what's going on each site. Terps on the other side of things looking pretty spread out. Davy Jones gonna take first blood.
Not ready yet.
With a sheriff. Going to draw in a rotate to B for the side of Clark. They're kind of doing so pretty slowly. That they're gonna probably use that Viper screen to try and get Davy Jones on the other side of it. But she does still have her utility to work off of if need be, and a Omen smoke came through to help her out as well.
Tripwire destroyed. Cage triggered.
This angle from Soap might be very, very helpful in just defending this. She can see everything, but does get blocked off by that Viper wall.
And they got
30
Carrots
seconds left.
on the flank, which you gotta be aware of if you're Clark. Spike is not down, but at any moment the Terps are just gonna push through here. But no, Trace and Soap get taken down. Carrots is the one to respond, and now it's a full-on pinch for UMD. And look at the positioning for Clark. They're kind of just forced back sight together. Carrots, great positioning. And what a retake for the Terps. They have been doing their retakes so well.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to admire Carrot's costume.
Yeah. She always, I swear, she always goes all out. I admire it so much. Her steampunk costume was so cool last year. But hey, she is in style. She's here in style in the studio, but also in the game. She's doing so well. And so is the rest of her team. Scoreboard looking really even for the side of the Terps. It's just been these retakes that UMD's been doing so well. And their positioning, they know exactly where Clark is, especially on their B hits, because they have someone going up deep mid and someone rotating quickly off of A. Oh wow, Savani just gonna dash right up into everyone's face. Davy Jones able to avenge her to find a pick, and Flashbangs cannot find another one off of her flash, but such chaos to start things off this round.
A little unlucky on Savani going in there. I'm pretty sure I thought the only blue and blind from Carrots hit everything, or hit everyone, but Carrots does take down 2.
Camera taken out.
So now it's a 1v2 with Soap left, but Spike is still on site.
They do not have spike control, and Soap knows that, but no, she's not able to land that first shot, and she knows it. But hey, I think the Terps are still in a good position here. I think they should still be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, and they are able to buy up yet again. I think they bought, yeah, they definitely bought up last round too.
I love the little cat spray. It's so good for Halloween.
Love the little noise it makes.
Yeah, it's so cute. Yet again, a lot of aggression from A. Savani this time not wanting to challenge it with all that utility coming right up in her face. Oh my gosh, Davy Jones's blinds have been just on point. So she's gonna get a flash off, and that's gonna slow down Clark a lot, actually. Maybe enough to draw them off of the site completely. If they go through mid, they're gonna have issues, though, because look at Carrot's positioning. She's ready to take this fight.
Toxin screen down.
But no, it's actually going to be a fast rotate towards B. I think knowing Carrots was there, they're just going to back off that as fast as they can, and they're try their luck with the Cypher utility that they know is going to be right up in their face. Carrots swings out, not able to find a pick, though. That's going to put the Terps at a numbers disadvantage, and they are looking like they're going to be in a retake. Soap's going to throw out all the Cypher utilities she can, but no, UMB's just getting completely overwhelmed right now. Everyone who was on site just picked off instantly, and a decisive round for Clark.
Yeah, Clark's looking to try to get back into this game. They have, I think, 4 ults to work with, everything but the Jet ult, I believe. So this is, Viper ult. But Unity already has 3 ults, and they're looking to maybe get the last 2 if they can really work, especially with Davy Jones. The KO ult is very crucial at shutting down a lot of ults, especially Gecko. But Savani maybe looking for a really interesting play here with the jet knives.
Yeah, I can't tell if she's gonna try to dash around, like up around that pillar there, or what. Just look, yeah, exactly. She's gonna updraft. Ooh, that looked kind of cool for a second. She didn't do much damage on the other side, but that looked kind of interesting there. But no, it's actually just going to be more of a default from Clark for the most part. Not really, more of like a 3-2 split. Looking mid. Mid's not super heavily contested by UMD. Just kind of Trace and her classic there. It will end up being a hit if I had to guess it, especially with Savani getting taken down. That's going to just further encourage Clark to try and take this A site. They got to watch out for this Bucky, though. They also have to watch out for Soap, who peeked out mid, could not find a pick with their Sheriff there. UMD just at a bit of a stalemate right now. The Omen Smoke is lending them some protection for the moment.
Cover going out.
Their time is running out, so they really got to do something here. This double hold with the Bucky is really dangerous, but Davy Jones gets taken down, and Carrot maybe trying to sneak in 1 kill in there, but now it's all down to
One enemy remaining.
Trace and Soap, but Trace gets taken down, so now it's just Soap.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
she's in a really awkward position here because she's just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. She has players all around her and can't even save that Sheriff. And suddenly UMD's just got to be on their toes a little bit. They still have a decent scoreline here, but Clark can easily come back into this.
Yeah, I mean, that last round was a buy round or save round for the Terps, so this round might be a different story. They don't have as many ults. I mean, both sides used one ult, so it's the ult game's looking relatively balanced, but the Viper ult's one point away from getting her pit, so that might be crucial in just how they play this next round.
Oh, so much damage being done off the bat by Savani, and she's gonna push up alongside with Carrots towards B side, but it's not going to be a B hit in the end. They're actually going to try to use their Gecko ultimate to make their way out to A side. The Jet dashes up, Viper Pit invested, like you were saying. And now it looks like they're going to be able to get this bomb down.
Eyes down.
Soap gets picked off, but Davy Jones did get a kill just right before that. So now that all that stands between the Terps and pushing this at match point is going to be that Viper Pit. Trace tries to find a pick off this Jet and does so. That's huge because this Jet has just caused so many issues for the Terps. But Davy Jones gets picked off while inside this Viper Pin. Savani's able to... What a fatal error for this Cypher, misplacing that Cypher trip, because look, Savani was able to crouch right underneath of it and find 2 right off the bat. All that's left is this Viper who's left in her own pick. Spike is taking down though, but Trace able to find that kill before things got too out of hand. That is going to push the Terps at map point.
Yeah, that Cypher chip really, I think, costed them the round, because that was Savani's huge break. She got 2 kills off of that, and at that point, if you're a Viper sitting in your pit with 3 other players just wandering around, you got to be really worried at that point.
Yeah, look at this. Savani's able to duck beneath. That's just like a pot of gold to you if you're a Valorant player on flank, is seeing a misplaced Cypher trip. Wow, so Terps able to push this thing at map point. We'll need one more round win to send us to the second map. Davy Jones gonna peek out, not liking what she sees too much, so she's gonna back out, probably call for some reinforcements, especially hearing those jet knives get popped.
Yeah, but UMD does have a lot of players towards A site. They have the KO ult here, which might be crucial in just stopping the jet from pushing up and gaining any space while on site. They look to switch gears towards mid.
Yeah, just a slow mid take here. Everyone's walking for the side of Clark, and it's not being defended at all by the Terps. Does look like this is ultimately going to be a B hit, but this time Terps are going to have to be aware of both sides on B. They might be finding themselves in a flank situation. Carrots finds a pick, which is great if you're UMD. And Savani gets traded as well. So it does look like B-side's going to be pretty cleared up as a result of everything. But no, Trace is just continuing to cause issues. Davy Jones on the other side of the map just wreaking havoc with her Phantom there. All that's left is this Gecko who actually decided to go site and plant that spike. Down to a 1v2 to close out this map for the Terps if they're able to find a round win here. Gecko's only down to 30 HP, so with a little bit of teamwork, they should have this. But no, the Gecko just doing a great job, and wow, a 30 HP clutch from the Gecko. Great job from Clark, and if you're the Terps, you gotta stay on your toes because 8 to 12 is not a guaranteed win by any means.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be a little annoyed after that round loss, but Savani might be looking to buy an op pretty soon. I did see her purchase it, but sell it, so maybe we might see an op just for the last round. But if Terps can squeeze away with the round now on their save round, then that just gives them so much more confidence going into the next game.
And it will be most players looking towards A side. That's where Spike is right now, but still, Clark looking really, really spread out. Could pull a rotate like we saw them do in the previous round. And Carrots is just peeking out. I think she knows that she might be seeing people shortly. But they don't have Spike, so this could be kind of a fake execute situation. We do see the Omen ult invested onto B-side. It is canceled out, but I'm surprised that's not drawing more rotates for UMD. But no, I think they have visual on these people that are A main, and especially having visual on the Gecko is super important because then you know where Spike is placed. But that's 2 Terps taken down so far into this round, and it is going to be a rotate. And now the Terps have to work on a retake, but Carrots gets taken down off the bat, which is going to just hurt the retake efforts of Savani and Soap. And they don't really have ideal guns either, and they're about to get swung into. Soap gonna get swung and just tries to do damage, but no, the Cypher gonna take down the both of them. And things are just getting even closer as we get later into this game.
We do see a timeout coming from the side of the Terps. Maybe just one last effort to bring the game into their hands.
Yeah, and I like the timeout here because sometimes I swear it's that last round. Like, you can be at 12 for round after round after round if mentally you can't put yourself at that space to find that last round win. And I think it is mentally because, like we saw with that round with the Gecko, that should be a winnable round all day if you're in a 3v1 against someone who's 30 HP. So it just might be just that last missing piece that they need, that last good play call in order to push them into the second map.
Yeah, and it's also just good overall just to get the coach's insight on how to how to go about this last round, because maybe he's got something cooking up that he hasn't tried before, but he know will work.
So we're about to come out of this timeout, and we're going to see what the Terps are able to do with 2 ultimates to work with and an operator from Savani.
I did say this that Savani was thinking about the op. Maybe she might still be thinking about the op. Or I don't know what's going on there, but I think it is confirmed that she is going to op, and this might be perfect because Clark is going right in the direction of Savani, so she can get this initial
Oh no!
jet, but does not get it.
No, it's just so hard to watch if you're a Terps fan, because that could have been so perfect, but no, she couldn't quite get that op shot off. But Davy Jones just able to respond from CT, gonna pop her KO ultimate, and probably gonna be aggressive off of that because you have the ability to get rezzed.
This Omen is in such a weird off angle. I don't know if Trace will be expecting this.
Oh, looks like she's gonna drone, but no, she gets swung right off the drone. Is able to get the ping and swings out to find a pick on that Omen. It's a huge deal if you're UMD. But no, Davy Jones gets taken out, but Soap is there to find that trade for her teammate, putting Terps at a numbers advantage at 3v2. But they've got to work around this Gecko ultimate, and it's gonna be the demise for Carrots because she gets detained. But no,
Soap comes in with a 3K.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Soap, and that is presumably gonna close it out. Oh, she's able to get the spike. Yeah.
Spike the defenders win.
Soap does close it out with a beautiful clutch.
Much to be done.
Yeah, great job from Soap finding 3 there at the last second of that round, and that's the round win that the Terps needed the most to get their first map as a win in the books. So we're going to be heading into the second map pretty shortly.
My name is Subin Kim, my in-game name is Carrots, and I'm the controller of this team.
My name is Hannah, my IGN is Tuxedo Sam, and I play Sentinel for the team.
My name is Sima, my in-game name is Care Bear, and I'm a flex.
My name is Megan, my IGN is Giraffe, and I'm an initiator.
My name is Sophia, my IGN is Soap, and I'm an initiator.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayush, my in-game name is DelCXO, and I'm the coach.
For me, I think it was just really interesting to see like our names on like social media and like on a website. I'm just like, whoa, my name is on a website but so I think that was like the number one thing that kind of like just it brought the realization of like what kind of team I'm in, like what kind of position I'm in.
Meeting them. It's like hard to make a woman and non-binary friends in Valorant, so it's just really nice that we have like a team specifically for that.
The studio.
Yeah.
Oh, the studio. Oh, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that existed until like remember like when we first talked about the studio, I was like, what's that? When I first went to the room, I was like, oh, there's cameras and lighting. I'm just like, that's
nice computer.
Nice computer. So true.
Winning.
Yeah.
Winning. Oh, so true. W winning.
Getting that.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I feel like
was pretty cool.
Hey. I would say supportive is definitely like Dusty and Rachel. Those two, just like making sure we had scrims down, making sure we had practice schedules down, like Dusty making sure like to pick out what we did wrong, just like, helping us improve. I think definitely.
Yeah, Dusty's a very present coach. So
very.
It's like, he's really reliable and helped us through the whole season.
Thanks, team.
Yeah, you'd even like schedule things for us, like
organize all the schedules.
Help us map bands and like
stats,
talk to them like realize if one of them was like unranked or something. Breaking a rule. Making teams forfeit.
Maybe we don't talk about that last part.
I would also say like our fans in chat, like on
Oh,
stream.
true.
So it was nice knowing
W
people
chat.
watching us.
And the haters.
Oh yeah.
Improve in the higher division.
Yeah, it is definitely more challenging because we're in a higher division now. But I think we could, like, with our coordination, I definitely think we could. We need to bring home another one of these.
It feels great.
Yeah.
You guys know this is the first title that Terps Esports has won.
Wait, seriously?
And by
Really?
women.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
First time.
cool.
I like playing Valorant.
Have an excuse to play games.
That's true. That's good.
For me, I joined because, well, like I've always wanted to be on a women's team, especially like since I got to UMD, and me and Dusty had always like tried to make teams work every semester, and this was the first time it actually did work and stuck, and the people who tried out like were committed. So I guess I've always just wanted to be on a women's team to like connect more to that community.
To make friends.
So I had that gap, without a team for a while, and then I saw the form, and I was like, I really want to try this. This sounds fun. And then, yeah, I play Valorant too much. First of all, I did not imagine me being IGL when I first started, because I am, outside of my Lilac team, I am known as the no-brain, only aim chamber in comp. So I did not imagine myself being IGL. But I think there were some difficulties in the beginning because I wasn't used to giving out comms. I was just very confused. But I think now it's just the amount of trust that my teammates give me when I give out comms and the amount of coordination that we have. I just love being IGLing because I trust that things will work out.
And welcome back, guys. We are going into our second map of the night, and this one's going to be Haven, and the Terps are going to be starting on defense while Clark is on attack.
Yeah, their defense was super strong on Abyss, so if that's any indication that they know what they're doing on defense, I don't know what is. And they're getting super hype here out in the studio. They got, you know, all the music playing, you know, a lot of good vibes. So yeah, if we can get a little camera on the good vibes in the studio, that would be good, because everyone's just kind of joking around. Everyone's eating lots of sugar, which is probably contributing to everything.
Probably
yeah.
just a bit.
Maybe just a hair. Yeah, that's the shenanigans. We're over here somewhere. Hey guys. But yeah, lots of shenanigans in the studio. We got Coach Dusty joining in on the shenanigans as well.
Definitely a very fun stream we're having tonight. Just a very good experience overall. And
yeah, there's good vibes in the studio, which is good because the Terps are playing super well. So, you know, it's always good once, you know, you're having fun, but you're also doing well, you know?
Yeah. It really makes me wish I brought my chicken costume.
I know, this is just lacking a chicken costume. Like, that's
I mean,
what
you have every other animal. You get a bear, you get a cow, you had a panda somewhere in there. Like, it just needs a chicken.
It does. It needs a chicken. I know. If you guys didn't know, I can do this with my hat, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that when I bought it. I just bought it, and I was like, wait, why are there like puffing things in here? I was like, wait a second.
Is it just like pumping air?
Yeah.
Up into that's
it's just air.
Interesting.
What a engineering accomplishment we've made here in society. But yeah, so really excited to see how the second game goes. We've had a kind of a streak of going to 3 maps here in the studio, not trying to cast or curse, but I'm hoping we see, you know, the Terps kind of win this one in a dominant fashion to not send this to 3 maps.
Yeah, I think it would also be very, very fun for everyone in the studio if all the vibes are like really high, you know, very good game, just the Terps like go right at it, get the 2-0, everybody gets to have whatever candy they want, stuff their mouths full of sugar, candy, and just have a good night.
Yeah, and what a good way to start the Halloween week. So, yeah, hoping they're able to win this round. I'm not sure if this is their round, their map pick.
I don't think it is.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they picked us.
They picked Abyss.
Wow.
Yeah, I did talk to Dusty and
that's interesting. I don't feel like they've ever picked Abyss before, like in their other.
Yeah, I mean, but they did really well in it. Their attack was phenomenal, and their defense was very solid. So I mean, it might be a staple they might start working around with, because it definitely catches teams off guard, because that's like, you don't really know how to play Abyss, what the strats are, you know, what are the like really niche plays you can have. So I think that gave the Terps a very big advantage.
Yeah, I'd love to see them pull it out on just more teams. Because like you said, I don't think the other team's going to be expecting you to pick Abyss. Especially if maybe I haven't played it yet because it's been banned instantly by the other teams we go up against. But yeah, so hopefully we're going to be heading into the next game shortly. So we're hoping to see like a really strong performance. Like Savani just did so well in the previous round map. I'm hoping to see the same from her.
Yeah, I mean, paired up with either Trace or Davy Jones, I mean, Savani is really utilizing that initiator role and capitalizing off of her teammates and stuff, while just taking a lot of space on the duelist.
Yeah, she's so confident on Jet. I want to see her work that operator more. I know it's a little bit easier to do so on Abyss just because you have mid and it's super long range, but still I think she can find really good value off of that operator if she invests more into it, because she's so clean with those operator shots sometimes.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that we did not see Carrot on Chamber.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, because this is a pretty chamber friendly map, but I think we wanted just to really secure that one map so we can maybe lean into a bit more interesting compositions later on, or maybe we're not a team for interesting compositions like we were in the show match, you know, just because that one wasn't quite as high stakes. Very fun, but not for our record into the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, Haven is pretty notoriously known for having a lot of like mirrored comps, but Bind on the other hand, you have a lot more breathing room with what you want to play.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of room to play an op onto Bind. If anywhere, it would be long or potentially a short is kind of where I see people like hop up on those boxes. But
you could argue that you could do showers as well.
Yeah.
It's not the most prevalent because there's, I mean, and a lot of times, not many people are going down towards showers or just utilizing showers. So I mean, I think that you could argue there are some decent spots for opping, but like even on like retake and stuff, an op is almost useless.
yeah, but on defense off rip is where you're gonna get the most value off of an operator. It's gonna be unexpected if you're gonna find any picks from it. So hoping we see Savani play that. I am interested to see if we see Savani go for the Raze or Jet. I think both are pretty good picks on this map. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Fade or potentially maybe a Sky. I don't know if this is a Sky map, but I know Fade is kind of a commonly picked agent on this map.
Yeah, I mean Fade with the breach as well. And we do see one player on Clark hovering breach, but I saw the Reyna hover for a second.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be cool. And Savani, I don't think she's gonna actually play Yoru, but yeah, just kind of everyone's just kind of debating what they want to play. I like a KJ pick on this map a lot. I think that she is quite strong on Haven. So I do like that, and I think this is a good pick for Savani because just being able to be C long and have an op shot and then dash off of that. And she also does like peeking out of A long. I've seen her do that a couple times in the studio when they are on Haven. So I think I'm really, really excited to see that. And I don't know if we're going to have mirror comps this time because I don't think we're going to opt for a KJ here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I mean, the thing with the KJ is I would argue Cypher would probably be better on this map just because of the camera. Because it's such a big map, you want to have definite eyes on where somebody could potentially be, or even just where utility might be. But I mean, the KJ does opt for a kind of different play style when defending, so that might be really interesting to see. But for the most part, everything but the Sentinel is pretty consistent. 4 agents are mirrored with the exception of that Cypher and the KJ, so this would definitely be a really interesting match with UMD starting on the defense first.
This is a map where if you're going to play KJ, you have to have lineups because otherwise you're just not going to find that much value versus, like you were saying, a Cypher who has more range in his utility than KJ does. So this is a map where you got to have those Molly lineups in case you're in, let's say, like a retake or a post plant on C long, being able to play passively from the safety behind a wall and C long and just kind of throw a molly. That's huge.
Right.
Being able to know, where to place your ultimates. And I know there's this really, really cheeky, ultimate spot onto A site when you're retaking, and you can molly that corner back up into A long to kind of really, really secure it. Like, stuff like that, you just gotta know if you're a KJ on this map. So the question is, will the Terps be able to counter a KJ like that? And also, how are we going to use our Cypher utility to the best, its full potential, really? Because this time we are not up against a Cypher as we were in Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think even the thing with the KJ is, like we were talking about, just the range of her abilities. Especially for any post plant scenario, let's say for example in C, you can only opt in playing either on site or back, maybe watching flank towards long, because I don't think her abilities would really reach that far. I think that at most they might reach garage, and that's it.
Yeah, and garage is a really tricky place on this map. It's interesting because some teams love to just exploit garage and only take C through garage and one person long, and other teams really avoid garage because that's a place for a lot of utility spam. And I wonder if that's what we're going to see from Clark, considering there could be a Cypher trip, Cypher cage, and someone sitting up in window garage. It's going to be really hard to counter. So really excited to see this map, really excited to see Savani on that Jet.
Right, and we are going to get into game pretty soon. I think there's a little delay in Valorant just getting the game started or the server started. So
Here we are.
Good now.
Terps gonna be on defense, like we said. Oh, never mind. Tech pause real quick. The saga continues before we get into Haven.
I think one of the players on Clark may have disconnected. I don't think I saw a ping for them or ping number at all. So a little bit of a tech pause. Maybe still trying to get a little bit of time to discuss some strategies for pistol round just based off of what the opponent's composition is.
Yeah, and we have spooky music to help our discussion. This music reminds me so much of our last year's Halloween stream. I remember that one so well for some reason. I think it was GC as well, so it's very reminiscent of last year. So yeah, now this is going to give us a little bit more time, even like coach, even to talk about how we want to do things here on Haven on the defense.
So while we're waiting, let's talk a little bit about some Halloween movies.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, I gave Silence of the Lambs another rewatch because I watched it when I was pretty young and I didn't see the hype. Rewatched it, I see the hype now. I really do like that movie, and it's not a super like Halloween movie. It's not wholesome. It's not feel good by any means, but it's just. I love horror movies, and I think it's very spooky, and it's kind of gives me fall vibes. It's also, a lot of it's set in Baltimore, and as a Baltimore native, I love to see it. But yeah, I would say, as in terms of wholesome vibes, Nightmare Before Christmas every day.
I definitely have to agree that movie is a classic. But if we're talking about horror, I gotta say the remake of Pet Sematary, I think it was like the 2016 or 18 remake of Pet Sematary, really kind of takes the cake for me, because I mean, it does kind of have some I guess you could say some Halloween vibes, but a lot of really weird things going on with people just wearing masks and stuff. I feel like a mask is like kind of Halloween, but
yeah. Have you seen Scream?
I have not.
I love Scream, the original Scream. I have not seen Screams like 2 through 100 or however many they've made now, but I saw the first one. Great. I love Scream, and it's very Halloween-y. It's centered around Halloween, centered around a Halloween party. Classic film. I love horror movies. I love Halloween, so certainly in my element.
Yeah, Halloween is probably one of my favorite holidays too, mainly because my birthday's like 5 days away.
Oh yeah, everybody, happy belated birthday to Hayden, who celebrated his birthday over the weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I went to a Georgian restaurant. Very nice food. It was called Supra. It's in Washington, D.C. Go there if you have the chance. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it sounded good. You were telling me about it. I was like, maybe I should check it out. It sounds really good.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think the aesthetic of Halloween is really cool, because you get to see the creativeness that a lot of people have. Like, even a lot of people in the studio. I mean, just being coordinated with their costumes, but Carrots as well. Like the creativeness, and we still see the napkin on Dusty's head.
Oh, here we are, finally back into the game. Does look like we're gonna see Savani peek out in her trusted A long positioning to start things off.
Maybe looking more towards a C and garage hit, but the Cypher and Soap and Carrots will meet them there.
And it is a fast garage take in order to get C for the side of Clark. They're able to take garage without much of an issue at all, because I think the Terps were holding that super passively. But Carrots does respond towards C side, and so does Davy Jones. And that's just going to leave 3 Clark attackers, one of which is sitting into garage, and they're able to find Soap off of the distraction there. But now, regardless, the Terps have forced this into a 1v4. They know where this breach is. And now Savani's just waiting patiently for the breach to peek right out into her Sheriff crosshair.
Yeah, I mean, consistently we see Savani just popping off with Sheriff, and that's a great way to start the defensive half for Haven, because mind you, that Haven's not a big defensive sided map. Because it is so big, you have to really spread your defenses thin and figure out, like, okay, where is the best value? Where do we kind of figure out they might go to? And having any kind of lead, especially early in the game on defense, is crucial for just going into some of the late rounds and even setting up for a better attack half.
Savani gonna look A long yet again, this time with the help of Trace, but I don't think they were quite able to spot anybody yet. Omen Smoke gonna come down thanks to Carrots. And now the Terps have got to be aware of Garage, because that's where the issues kind of started for them in the last round. They were able to come away with the win, but still Garage is really where a lot of that carnage happened. Smoked off by the side of Clark, but look at Savani, look at this flank, able to find one off of it with her deagle, but she's still kind of stuck in that positioning, forced to dash back into safety, and she's going to be met with another fight any second now. Carrots and Davy Jones Soap all doing their part, and it's just a cleanup for the Terps.
I hate to say it, but
Yeah, the Terps are very quick and coordinated about where there is space and where there isn't, because, I mean, we have Savani and Davy Jones especially taking up so much space through A long and eventually just flanking on window, and that's what you want to have when you're coming straight into the map that wasn't your pick. We gotta love the sprays that Riot puts in the game. I think they're all most of them are pretty creative, but there's a couple that are really, really good.
And now finally Savani's able to just get a taste of the attackers on A this time. No one's really too eager to peek out into her, but she's going to updraft close to try and draw in a push. Not going to find it quite yet. On the side of Clark, things looking pretty spread out across. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Garage execute, but for now, they're just going to be happy with the space they have. Just try to peek out, kind of see what they're able to see if they see any utility. And it looks like it is going to be a group together towards mid, up into window. And they did smoke up in Garage, which is pretty typical of their round executes, but it doesn't look like they're planning on going through Garage. Instead, it does look like the KJ who's holding the spike is pushing up towards B, and this Jet is just being really, really smart about this potential flank that could be creeping up. They're going to spot two. Trey does come in thanks to the double swing for Trace.
30 seconds
Trace,
left.
be careful about the Sova that's flanking her.
Oh no, I don't think she's going to turn around in time, and no, she didn't, and that just leaves Carrots all to herself. And now with the spike planted and being on the other side of the smoke, it's going to be really difficult. And no, she couldn't get her first outlaw shot. And that is going to be the first round win for Clark on attack.
They had the right idea there, and they did end up doing a lot of damage in the end. I mean, the Cage is going to have to repurchase, shields and abilities. But, like, even getting two guns out of the hands of Clark is, I would say that's still that's better than nothing, really.
Yeah, it certainly is better than nothing, especially when you look at Clark's economy. That Jet, forced not to buy, wouldn't be surprised if they just tried to, find a gun if one of their teammates die or one of their teammates end up getting a pick. That's all because UMD was able to take those, or Carrots was able to take that gun just out of her hands at the last second. Now more C long presence being shown by Clark. Carrot's gonna immediately get a read on that and call in for reinforcements any second now. She's able to throw up that smoke. But UMD's got to be aware of mid too. This could potentially be an issue into Garage or potentially B Link even. And it does look like there is going to be a rotate maybe. But just Clark having a lot of mid presence right now, it's a little suspicious. Just from the side here of casting of being able to tell where everybody is. It's just a little bit suspicious, as Savani being really patient on the A side might pay off soon. Let's look at that Jet's positioning. Yeah, gonna get a glimpse of that Jet, but not gonna be able to find that pick. And the positioning's just been super all over the place for Clark. I don't know if UMD really has a good read on where they're hitting up until now, where Clark is going to be forced to show their cards because time is ticking down. And no, Carrot's great job dodging that flash, able to get her crosshair back in the right place at the right time, but eventually does get taken down. Now it's all up to Savani, who's going to be walking in from B-Link with a Vandal, mind you, but still it's just so hard in a 2v1 with Spike already planted.
Yeah, and I think the KJ does still have some utility to work with too, so Savani's going to be extra careful about that, especially with time, but does get sight on both of them.
Blocking sight.
And she's going to use her smoke to try and eliminate one more angle. And that, ooh, all this utility is going to make things really, really difficult. She's going to be stunned, vulnerable, everything. And on top of that, has to defuse the spike. And there's this swarm grenades down. It's going to be really, really difficult. Wouldn't be surprised if you just try to find a pick here, because Spike is taking down and she's not going to have enough time. Not sure if she's going to be safe either, no. So that's another gun down for UMD, and another gun that Clark gets to keep for the next round.
Yeah, and UMD did buy that round too. So now they're going to most likely have to save and kind of rethink their strategy going forward for the next buy round. But I mean, Savani holding that A long, I think she was holding that like most of the entire round. That's still really good for even just having some sort of information, because at that point, you know, like, okay, you can have more players towards the other site, and there are two players stacked up towards Garage.
Yeah, Garage has been an issue for UMD, so they're just trying to put more reinforcements there, but no, it's going to continue to be an issue as Soap gets taken out, and that's all the Cypher utility you have disengaged. Going to make the attack a little easier, but oh my gosh, Carrots being so risky there, able to find the trade, which is good considering, you know, how scary of a play that was. But now C-Site more or less undefended by UMD, with the exception of Davy Jones, who's trying to hold her ground backside, but only with the Sheriff. Able to find one with the Sheriff, gonna swing around the other side of the boxes to try and find another, but cannot quite do so. Gonna put things at a 2v3 in favor of Clark, make that a 1v3 with Trace getting taken down off the bat. Savani only has a Classic and a Marshall, both not ideal guns to work with at this range. And that is going to lend Clark to yet another victory, and they're on top for the first time on this map.
And I did not realize that the Omen has an Odin, and this team has a history, or the Terps have a history of going against Odins. So I might say it might not be their favorite gun to go against, especially on Haven too. So they really gotta watch out for a lot of these spammable walls, especially on C-Site. C-Site, I think, is probably the most, the best site to have an Odin.
Yeah, they gotta get a read on where that Odin is, and honestly just avoid it at all costs, because it can just be so dangerous if you're not able to get a visual on it, and it just continues to do so much damage through the wall. So it does look like UMD just a little aggressive on the side of A long, a little aggressive in mid, trying to get a read on where everybody is. Savani doing a lot of damage, but not able to finish the job, as the KJ just has a little bit more HP to work with. And it will end up being an A execute. But Trace has got to turn around quickly. She's trying to help her teammate down in short, and it's working out great for the moment. But look, it's just a push from this KJ. What a shot from this KJ, only down to 17 HP, but she's able to do so much with it. That's going to lend sight in the hands of Clark. And UMD just really in two different worlds in terms of map positioning here. One of them's probably going to have to cause a distraction in order for presumably Carrots to work out this flank, but no one's really A long. No one's in a position to really get affected by this flank here, but regardless, Carrot's able to win that first gunfight into hell. TP's behind the boxes, has one more player left between her and this round win. Cage is only down to 17 HP, remember, but oh, she does have her nades to buy a lot of time. And Carrots is going to be forced to defuse. I don't think any more nades are in her way, but what might be in her way is this Vandal spray, but no, Carrots able to hop back on the bomb in just the nick of time.
0.93 seconds still left on the clock. She is able to defuse. It was a very good, that was like a really good quick thinking play that she had just to smoke herself off and kind of figured that the KJ was going to rotate. I would have assumed the KJ would have gone to play post plant or, sorry, for lineups.
Yeah, because I don't know if Carrots knew if she had another molly or not. She definitely checked bomb, but you never know if in her pocket she has another molly that, like you were saying, to play post plant with, play lineups.
And now UMD is back in this.
Revealing area.
In the first half, they did take a little bit of a round deficit, but now they're able to equalize it. And they do have almost full ults to work with the exception of Savani's ult.
And speaking of ults, they're going to invest a KJ ultimate onto A site, gonna clear all the Terps defenders out from A, and this leaves plenty of time for the KJ to set up bots and nades and all of the above to try and really secure a post plant. Davy Jones gonna be almost forced to use this ultimate. Oh my gosh, Carrots not dismissing and getting punished for it. And now the retake is just falling apart for the Terps. Only 2 of them remain. It's going to be Soap and Davy Jones, who have made their way onto the site, and they're actually finding success here after they found the Jet. All that's left is this KJ and the Sova. They're playing in 2 very different positioning. Sova opting for that ultimate on post plant. Bomb is half though. Oh, so if Davy Jones can get on it, but no, the Sova ult is too powerful.
Yeah, everything kind of just fell apart for UMD there. They invested, I think, 2 ults? No, 3 ults, but Carrots wasn't able to catch the Jet off guard in main, and I don't think the breach ult really hit anybody on site. Maybe except for like 1 person, but that's not the kind of round you want if you're investing 3 ults as well as a buy round. That was a very expensive round for UMD. Now they have to take a little bit of a step back and rethink what they're going to do next.
Yes, it's going to be a bit of a reset round for them because they don't have a good buy here. So they're almost kind of, conceding this round economy-wise. The question is, are they going to be able to pull out a Thrifty? It's not looking good because Davy Jones is taken down towards B, but it's actually going to be a C hit for the most part. But look at UMB, all they have is just classic Sheriffs left to defend the site. They're going to have to hide behind those smokes. Carrot's able to find one with a classic, but not for long. Trace, though, making moves with her Sheriff, and wow, suddenly things are just turned around for UMD. Now they're up in a 2v1, make that a 1v1. Actually, knives out for the side of Clark, and what a shot with those Jet knives, gonna stop UMD in their tracks. But I'm sure Clark got a little bit scared, after UMD was able to find success on the retake.
Yeah, I think it's kind of exactly when you want to take a timeout, because that round was, it looked like it was supposed to be UMD's round, but the Jet just won her ones. They did kind of, or the Terps did kind of give the Jet her ones, and most of them had not great weapons to begin with.
And suddenly the Terps have found themselves in a position for actually the first time in this series where they've been in a significant deficit like this. They're only down a couple rounds, but that's more than they have been on Abyss and so far onto Haven. So they've really got to work on, not letting this thing get too out of hand. Hi, Hammy. If you guys remember seeing Hammy, she does play for this team, but she is not playing tonight. But a familiar face in the studio. I'm surprised Coach Dusty's being so able to maintain such focus. I'd be so distracted, but he has a job to do and he knows it. So he's definitely gonna spread some words of wisdom to his teammates or to his players here as this round they're able to buy up.
might invest this Sova ult at some point. They aren't really looking to get any other ults anytime soon, but the KJ ult I think is within 3 points, and Savani is trying to take a pretty aggressive fight.
Oh, the flash is going to make things favorable, but no, not able to find a pick yet. They're not done though. Trace Savani still really, really aggressively holding this. I think they might know that someone else might need to cross from sewers. No, Savani definitely spotted that person crossing, but not able to find that pick. Soap though, outside of garage, is able to find her pick. And now the alarm bells are going to sound towards mid, which means Davy Jones is going to rotate, but she does get picked off. And now, look at this positioning B-Link. I think Soap's aware because she has her gun looking that way, checks the corner, finds that pick, and a throw down her Cypher ultimate. That's just going to leave Clark really exposed in terms of their game plan, as most of them are doubled back towards C, and now Carrots just has a complete read on this player C-Long.
They might end up trying to rotate A, maybe not, but I thought after the Cypher ult they would have maybe shifted gears towards A.
30 seconds left.
But it looks like they might try to hit either B or C here. I'm assuming it's going to be C, but Carrot with a pretty nasty reposition. This is going to really hurt Clark when they try to enter on the site, and it already is working out. Carrots with
one enemy remaining.
2 kills,
10 seconds left.
One player left, and that's just the Jet.
Yeah, the Jet's only like 7 HP and does not have control of the spike. So this is going to be a win for the Terps, and that is exactly the round you want right on the other side of that timeout. And now you've kept 3 out of your 5 guns on a round that was so important for your economy.
Yeah, if they can just push past this next round, they can very well send Clark into a save round as well, because they didn't look like they really have much money in the reserves. Yeah, I mean, even some of them are buying light shields, and they look relatively poor right now. I mean, they still can buy up, but their savings just look relatively poor compared to that of UMD's.
Revealing area.
And no one's really pushing A here for the side of Clark. Instead, it's going to be mostly positioning towards mid, but pretty passive stance overall. So UMD is going to be forced to be patient. They're going to force to not rotate too quickly because Clark has had a tendency to kind of make presence on a site and then rotate back, especially through mid. It is going to be a slow walk up through mid here, just trying to sniff out who's on this site. If there's any Cypher utility, probably is the most important question they're asking themselves, and there is a trip. I'm sure this intention of that Sova dart was trying to take down some of that Cypher utility, and with these smokes in place, it's going to be a waltz on to B site, but looks like Trace just had everything calculated, because look, she's finding a pick with her Sova ultimate from afar. Savani gets taken down, and Sopa's gotta check this corner. About to get double swing, but meanwhile on B, it's just an absolute bloodbath for the side of the Terps. But Trace, is that a collateral? Oh my goodness, she has found 3 for herself this round. Has a big task in front of her though. She's got to defuse the spike and be careful of who's coming up right behind her. She's getting spotted from all different angles there. She's got to look behind her, in front of her at all times. Swings a beautiful shot from Trace, but can she find the last 4? A potential ace. And no, that Sova just did not want to give that to her, but man, Trace was on a roll there. Great job. I know they didn't come away with that round win, but what a round for Trace.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, when all seems lost, I mean, Trace is able to just kind of maybe scrap something together and hope for a win, and she almost did that. But UMD is going to have to save this next round. I mean, scoreboard is looking pretty balanced, with Clark still up by 2 rounds, but UMD will have to get maybe a round or 2 here just to maybe balance it out at half and have a better chance on the attack, or at least a better lead on the attack.
And this time, a ton of aggression coming in from sewers. Davy Jones gonna use her flash, gonna peek off of it. What a shot from Davy Jones at her Sheriff. She's not done though. Wow, look at her just pushing through. Eventually gets taken down by a Guardian, but Savani's just backed up into this corner thanks to the KJ ultimate, and she's gonna get taken down, but she only really had a classic in hand. Now we're in a 2v2. Clark does have control of the spike and sight for that matter, but no, Soap gets taken down before she can even try to retake. Gonna leave Carrots in a 1v2 with a Guardian in hand. She has the positioning in her favor because it doesn't look like Clark really knows where she is much at all, but that's gonna change with this Sova dart. It's gonna leave her completely exposed. She's forced to use her utility to work her way out of this positioning into short. But all eyes are on her, and Spike is taking down. But no, she's able to find the first. But can she get the second in time to defuse the spike is the question. Oh, she's got to look behind her, and no, cannot quite get her crosshair there in time.
Just a very, very small crevice in the smoke she threw. Very, very unlucky. And the Sova was able to capitalize off of that and get a really nasty angle on Carrots.
Yeah, but what great Sheriff play from Davy Jones. Look, able to find that first pick, swings right into the second. A little bit of a flick there. Eventually, she does get taken down, but man, those are some clean shots.
Savani does bring out the operator in the last round of this half.
Oh no, but she gets taken down before she can even pull it out. Just the speed to get that operator in play is 3.7 seconds, which is so long if you think about it in Valorant. So it's just gonna be really hard for her to find value so close range. And now it does look like Clark is going to use their all the ultimates they have in store to make their way onto A side. It's gonna work out beautifully for them as they're able to take down Davy Jones and Carrots to put them at a huge numbers advantage. And now Soap and Trace are spread out, but one of them's going to be coming from CT, and the other hand, Soap going to be walking in from short. I don't think they know about the short positioning at all here. Look at Jet's back is completely turned to Soap. She's going to capitalize off of that and continue to push through. Gotta beware of this Hell player, but other than that, everyone else is playing off-site. Presumably Sova all in lineups, but it's not going to matter in the end as Soap and Trace both get taken down by this on-site breach.
Yeah, that would have been really hard to play post plant there because the Sova had his ult. I think 1 or 2 shock darts at least, and then KJ had most of her util, so that would have been really hard to even just try to defuse Spike with a barrage of damaging abilities is coming straight at you. But the breach is able to clutch up and make sure that didn't happen. So UMD does sit down in a 4-round deficit, so they got to win this pistol round in order to get something moving and get the ball rolling for this next half.
Yeah, so it's all about how UMD is going to really set the tone for themselves onto attack. They find themselves in a 4-round deficit before they're in the talk about tying this up. Does look like they're going to start off their attack round by heading B site. Savani invests in that Sheriff, tries to dash, just doesn't dash on site, and they're going to back off away from B site. And this flank is really, really saving them for this. This trip is saving them for that flank that would have been in store there. So good job for Soap throwing that trip up. But no, Trace has got to turn around, be aware of that omen there. But it's Soap who peeks out from window in order to find that omen. She does get trade on the other side, and this Jet has worked their way around that trip. So now flank is certainly an option, and Davy Jones knew that, but just couldn't quite find that pick. Savani also going to get taken down now. The Terps do not have spike control at all, and they're completely out of position here. They're going to have to fight in order to get the spike back in a severely numbers down situation. And Trace only has a classic, and she's about to get swung here, but no, able to find the first with her classic. Still does not have spike control. They're going to try to rely on her utility to buy her a little bit more space.
But if Carrots can get
in
there quickly, then on the flank, but Trace is taken down from the flank.
And that's just going to leave Carrots in a pretty much unwinnable situation, just when you don't have spike control or anything. And now the Terps have lost their first attacking round, and that looked like kind of the sloppiest round we've seen from the Terps so far. They looked really, really calm, cool, and collected on Abyss, but no, things are looking very different here on Haven.
And again with the little cat spray, very fitting for Halloween.
So cute. So now UMD is going to be heading into their second attack round. Hopefully it goes a little bit better for them, although we're not really going to have a strong buy here. We're up against, you know, Ares. So that's going to probably deter us from taking Garage anytime soon. But got to be aware of this Jet pushing up just slowly. I'm not sure if we have a trip there. Yeah, we do have a trip placed, but Trace is just going to peek out to try and find a pick before that trip becomes into the conversation. But no, Clark's gonna back away up into safety, but still the Terps don't really look like they know where they're going to hit yet. I guess it's eventually going to be an A hit, but they haven't taken much space here, and with the Jet finding an opening pick on Trace, it's gonna be even harder to take space. And look at this Jet just wreaking havoc. Finally Savani's gonna be the one who's able to take her down, and they're going to try and take A site here. You got to be aware of CT and Heaven because of the Soviet utility that's going to be coming their way. So Bomb is able to come down. Terps are in a post-plant scenario. I believe Carrots has, used up all her smoke, so they're left pretty exposed with the exception of maybe a Cypher cage. No, because Soap does not even have a Cypher cage, so no, they don't really have anything to slow down Clark at this point. It's all up to if they're able to win their gunfights. Clark tries to come in guns blazing from CT with the help of some breach utility. Doesn't work out. It works out pretty good for them actually, but Soap just left in a 1v3 Spike taking down. She's gonna just get overwhelmed, and that round looked pretty hopeful for UMD for a second, but no, we couldn't hold down a post plant.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really all up to Savani with the Vandal there to at least get a couple of kills and maybe equalize the round, but she just got bombarded with util, like the Omen flash, breach stun, everything. And the Terps to sit down with a 6-round deficit. They gotta really bring something back here now, unless they're thinking about map 3 then. But this round is very crucial in gauging whether or not, do they still have a chance.
Yeah, it's a crucial round because they bought up this round, and their economy, because they have such a big deficit, like you were saying, is not looking too good. So super, super important round for the Terps. If they're able to play their cards right, they should be able to come away with a round win here. No ultimates in play for either side, so things are looking really level across the board.
Here.
And the Terps looking to start things off really quietly. Oh no, Savani's got to check this corner. There's just a sheriff waiting for her on the other side of this door. Not sure if she's actually going to end up pushing. No, looks like she's backing up, wisely so, because that was scary for a second.
Oh, and this is perfect because now most of Clark has rotated off of A, and if they take A right now, they have a free site.
Yeah, A is not being defended at all, and as soon as Davy Jones is getting that read, as she's the one who's kind of ahead of her team right now onto the site, she's going to be calling out to her team, hey, nobody's A, let's get this bomb down and maybe try and watch out for the rotates that are soon to be coming in. I think that's exactly what Soap is trying to do on B site. And yeah, that's exactly what Soap is able to do, but now her positioning is revealed, able to take down that breach. But the question is, can she continue with the other two people who are just charging up right in her face? And no, eventually does get taken down. But meanwhile, things are looking pretty calm on site for the Terps. Gotta be aware of Heaven though, because this Jet is sitting there. But no, the Jet's gonna quickly come in and dash right up into Trace's face. Savani able to find that trade for her teammate. Spike starting to tick down quickly. Clark is in a bit of a time crunch now, and they know that. and they're just kind of forced to back up. And finally, the Terps, after a long drought, have taken a round.
But it doesn't help that all of them lost their guns, and now they're going to have to do some kind of like half buy maybe, depending on how much money they have. So yeah, it is going to be somewhat of a half buy with most players opting for light shields, and I think I saw a Bucky amongst the guns that they have. But that was a really nasty spray transfer from the KJ there.
Yeah, KJ did a great job, but you know, finally, after just like such a drought, Terps able to take that win. But the question is, will they be able to continue with this momentum? Like you said, a lot of their guns did get taken down, so we are in the rebuilding stages here onto Haven. If you're a Terps fan, this is, you know, the time where you want to see the Terps go on a run right here and now before, you know, we start getting into the 11, 12, 13 rounds for Clark. And this round going to start out with a trade. So not too big of a deal. Terps have lost their initiator utility, which might hurt them in a post-plant setting. And if there's aggression anywhere, it's B site right now, but the spike is actually going to be C long, where it's just this KJ. She does appear to have a turret, but the rest of her setup is going to be B site, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue if the Terps do decide to go C. It does look like that is going to be the plan as Davy Jones enters with her breach stun. And Savani just almost finding a pick there. CT, that would have been huge, but hey, regardless, Terps are able to take control of this site, and I do like Soap's positioning. It does look like somehow they're really aware. She must have made some noise. Everyone is looking in her direction right before Garage. Yeah, look, they're pinging that. They know exactly where she is. But on site, for the other matter, they have got to be watching out for Garage and CT. Finally, Soap swings, but does get picked off pretty instantaneously. And Carrots has got to turn her back here, because that's where the Omen is. Yeah, she's got to just kind of play ring around the rosy around these boxes. Play time here. Play as much time as you can. Let that spike take down for as long as possible. Swing out to find 4 for herself in that round. Huge round for Carrots. Huge round for the Terps in general.
Very well played by Carrots there. Getting that, solidifying that round. That was a 4K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well played. I mean, that's the kind of thing you need to get back into this game. They've won the last 2 rounds, so this might give them the momentum they need, because now they've made it within a 4-round game. And even perfect timing too. This is gonna have to send Clark into a half buy, but they can't just say they've won the round yet, because they still have to go through all of these guns, and this Stinger might be very, very dangerous for holding site.
Yeah, and now look, the Terps have made just so much movement from A long enough in order to get onto the site. They really haven't cleared Heaven by any means, and yet again Soap is with that lurk, but it's so expected by the Omen. What a shot by that Omen. That's gonna take that's gonna take Soap out of the equation. So the Terps turn slightly numbers down and increasingly numbers down. Retake, and wow, things are just falling apart so quickly, so fast. And that's gonna stop a 2-round run for the Terps.
Yeah, that was the round they needed in order to even solidify the momentum they had going, but it's not looking too great, because they're down by 5. Clark has 2 more rounds until they win this game, and then we go into map 3. But I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta stop a run if you're the Terps. Like, Clark is at 11 right now. Do not let that get to 12, because it's so easy to just get one more win and then you're done. You know, just you don't want Clark to gain that mentality. You gotta stop them right here. You gotta go on a big run if you want to come back and prevent this thing from going to 3. They don't have the guns to do it. As you can see, Trace only has a classic, so they're gonna need a thrifty if they want to win this round. And everyone's just so grouped together right now. Probably going to try and flood Garage. You got to play numbers if you don't have those guns in hand, because you're not going to win 1v1s with a Classic versus a Vandal, most likely. So, looking to play numbers here into Garage. I do like where this is going so far for the Terps. They did get smoked off, so how are they going to play around that is the question that they're probably thinking about right now. And how do we also stay aware of a potential flank? We do have a trip outside of A, but that might not stop the B flank. We do have a turret, though, in order to watch, but still, things could fall apart at any second. They've got to take Garage in order to win this round, and it's just too costly. Eventually a trade comes through, but not before finding two Terps. And now the spike has fallen Garage, and it's just a complete bloodbath right in that pinch point. That is going to put Clark at 12 and at map point.
Once we win, just dump all your tech in my lab. I'll fix it
We
up.
do have a timeout from Dusty here. The Terps aren't out of this yet. They still have plenty of ults to work with, so if they can play this right, they can, if they use like 1 or 2 ults per round, they can very well snowball their way into getting back within four scores of this game. But on the other side, Clark also has, I think, 3 ults to work with too. So they can invest all of their ults in a 1 round and hope to maybe secure the round.
Yeah, this was just, it was so close in the first half, and then I think all of a sudden the Terps just really could not find their footing on the attack, which is just hard to watch because they did so well on Abyss, and they have 4 ultimates, so I would not be surprised if we saw those start to get invested any second now, because you really just want to stretch this thing out as long as possible to increase your chances of going on a run, and just kind of getting Clark in that mentality of not being able to close it out. But it's just hard, especially when you're up against an Odin.
And Odin and an Op. This is going to be a very tough round for the Terps to secure.
Placing swarm grenade.
It looks like the Op is posted up right around mid, but that's not where it's not where the Terps are going. They are going straight towards A. They do have full control over A site, and Savani is maybe looking to get an early pick, but it's a complete rotate. It's a fake.
And I love this fake because look how many ultimates were invested onto A site. That's the Sova ultimate gone, the Breach ultimate gone. Now UMD should have free reign of C site, but now Savani's just holding her positioning here, just waiting for any more rotators, any more late runs here. And knowing that this is going to be a C execute, KJ is forced to pop there. KJ ultimate, Savani does get taken down closer to A site, and now the Terps are going to play a pretty passive post play by the looks of things towards C long. And Davy Jones peeks out, finds the jet, and I'm not surprised we're seeing Trace invest that Sova ultimate. It's going to be met with a Breach ult though. And now the Terps are trying to buy as much time as possible, and they do so in a beautiful fashion, winning that crucial round. And it's every round from here on out, it's going to be equally as crucial.
Yeah, they did invest a lot of ults into that round, so they have to maybe compensate a little bit going into these next couple rounds. But both sides did too. I think the Terps invested, what, 3 ults, and then Clark invested 2, I believe.
Another decent buy for UMD. It's not exactly where they want it, but still pretty good all around. Carrot's having a great game, just looking at that leaderboard at 20 kills. Oh, and Soap spots the jet peeking out of Garage, but I don't think that's where the Terps are going to place most of their efforts. Instead, a lot of utility being invested on A yet again. A lot of space, too. A is looking pretty good. That's going to force Carrots to kind of send Spike that way, too, because look, they've got all their smoke set up and everything.
And it was a fake TP on
Spike
for the Omen on
planted.
the side of Clark, but Soap's still wandering around, lurking, maybe trying to do a very late lurk. But it's going to have to be really soon because UMD is already starting to lose lives as Savani falls. And then all of Clark is just funneling out of CT, but trades are coming left and right, and UMD is holding their ground.
And now UMD in a numbers up situation. They just got to play time here. And Soap cleans things up, finishes that round. We are at 8-12. Every round after the next just going to get more and more nerve-wracking. But yeah, look at Carrots having a great game. 21-15.
And this is the kind of momentum they need if they really want to have any chance of putting this into overtime. They still gotta go through one, maybe half by round before they really can start feeling comfortable in terms of an economic advantage. But they're still one round. They're still losing one round away from 1 round away from losing the game.
This time they're looking to switch things up and take C-Site. Gotta work their way through the smoke though. Trace gonna help out with that with her initiator utility instead of drone. I don't think it's spotted somebody. Yeah, it's gonna spot that KJ in its last couple seconds of life. Terps are just trying to overwhelm this KJ, and that's exactly what they do with a bunch of utility. Gonna be able to plant. And now these post plants have to be perfect for UMD. Oh, and Soap might have great timing here. Yeah, she does. Able to find that Omen. Great job from Soap. And she's going to continue to watch flank, but no one's going to be sent her way. Instead, it's going to be Garage and CT that the Terps have got to worry about.
This breach stun hits everyone most everyone on site.
Player standing.
On Savani Trace, great kills. All that's left is this Jet with a Marshall in hand, and they know exactly where she is right now. Just trying to pick up a Vandal and run away to safety. But I don't think UMD wants to let that happen at all. And yet another round win for the Terps, keeping things interesting.
When David Jones almost gets the kill on the Jet, just shy of 20 or 30 HP. They are able to bring it within 3, and this is starting to look a little bit more feasible to bring it to overtime. They'll have their second round or another round of ults pretty soon. Most of them will start getting their ults within the next round or so.
And yet another crucial round. Terps are deciding to play it by executing A. Not really sending anybody short. Everyone's just kind of trying to overwhelm any defenders through long. That's exactly what DB Jones is able to do. Finding that breach and finding even more value off of that Carrot's utility to find Jet. And now, bomb is down and time is ticking, and UMD knows that. So they're just going to sit and wait patiently for these retake players to start flooding in.
And I think Clark is somewhat aware of a potential lurk, but Soap is not on alert this round, which kind of makes their gamble a little all for naught. But it looks like they might just save.
I love that conditioning from Soap because she's really conditioned Clark to believe she's going to be lurking every round. And look at that Omen. The Omen was probably expecting to find Soap out in a fight outside of B there, but she never came, and that probably just slowed them down a little bit. It is ultimately going to be a save, but that certainly had a part in kind of the mispositioning from Clark.
And looking at the economy here, they built up a very, very large economy, so even if they win and still lose some lives, they still have a lot to fall back off of. But Clark still has one more real go, and then before they potentially send it to overtime.
And yet another just must win win round for the Terps. And they know that this is a must-win round. So they're going to play this really, really calculated. Not take any 1v1, not take any, you know, crazy swings here. Smoke's going to dissipate for Carrots, as she is the only one who's looking C-long here. And, ooh, Trace probably had the read that there was someone close. Oh no, Carrots might have a great opportunity here, but no, not able to find that pick. Soap responds, though, right near mid here, so things are leveled out for the moment. Cypher ultimate invested for UMD, and they just had all the information that nobody's on this A site. So they're going to run as quickly as they can there, get this bomb down as quickly as they can. But watch out for Heaven, because this Soph there. Savani did a great job dwindling down that HP, and look at the HP for Clark. 2 players down to essentially 1 shot.
Soap is on the flank. This is huge. Already gets 1. Does get 2. This is huge for UMD. If they can secure this round, they have a very good fallback round
remaining.
with an eco on the other side of Clark. You just got to be careful not to get his jet ones, and they don't at all. They don't leave any breathing room for this jet to maneuver around in it and get any kills at all.
This is so anxiety-inducing. Look, just UMD's right back into this thing, 1 round win away from sending it into overtime, and Clark knows that. They're going to call a tactical timeout just to work together one last strategy to try and defeat these Terps, but they've really, what a comeback here. Just that shows you like the mental fortitude and just the mentality of, okay, just this next round. That's what you need when the other team's at 12 and your only hope is overtime, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think even when you're down 6-12 and stuff, at that point you're like, you know, let's just work around with some things. We don't really have much to lose. At the very worst, we go on to map 3. But they've been able to pull it back with that. I'm assuming with that kind of mental, and really like, okay, we're back in the game now. We have all the momentum they need, because they've, I think, won the last 4 rounds in a row. So if they can bring it back and win this last round and send it to overtime, this would be huge, because then this gives the Terps a fighting chance at winning the game and sending this home 2-0.
And the onesie is off for Coach Dusty, so you know things are getting serious.
I mean, you know things are getting serious when Carrots took off the wig.
Yeah.
And then went back into normal lock-in mode.
Super important round for UMD. Savani looking to change things up by being aggressive. B, she has bomb, gonna fake a bomb play on B, but look, this Sova's not buying it. Their pack just completely turned. But it doesn't look like Clark really bought that fake at all. They're in pretty good positioning here. Maybe they're giving a little bit more attention to B, but still, it's not like C is completely clear, and that is where the Terps looks like they are heading, because that's where bomb is right now. I love Trace's positioning here, though, but it doesn't quite look like she's gonna find much value off of it. It's kind of risky because no one's looking to rotate that way, and you don't want to leave the rest of your team with less numbers than they have.
But I mean, even still, UMD still has so much space to work with here, and if Trace gets this 1 kill here, this could very well give UMD the space they need to swing at A, and I think they're going to do that anyways.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I think Trace is super aware of this player short, and I think I heard her pinging it. She's going to send a drone down there, and no, Soap gets taken down by the judge. That is not how you want to start out this round for UMD. They're going to try and rush in from short. They do get a pick on Toast thanks to Davy Jones's utility there. Carrots also finding value on the other side of the map. They've got to stick this plant. And Savani able to hang on to her last string of HP, and suddenly the Terps looking like they're in such a good position to win this. All that's left is this Sova. And man, they've got to play this so smart. And yes, the Terps have sent this into overtime. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought this thing looked real out of, just out of their hands for a long time. But look, They've brought it back, and now they're only 2 wins away, 2 consecutive wins away from, you know, winning this in 2.
I mean, they did relatively well on defense, so it shouldn't be that much of a change based off of where they had all their setups and or just where they had their players playing.
Now look at the scoreline. Look how many rounds the Terps had to win. What is that, 6 rounds in a row?
Yeah, 6.
That they're able to come back from at map point. So great job for them working on that comeback, but the job is not finished. They've got to win in overtime.
Some shots fired out in mid. Breach stun does come out, so that's another 40 seconds that Davy Jones is going to go without any kind of delay, or I mean, at least the breach stun. But Savani still has an eye on A long. Might be just barely see someone.
She does get flashed off that angle, so Clark's going to try and take a little bit more space onto A long, but the UMD has 3 defenders on this A site, so they are sitting pretty in a good position. If Clark so chooses to hit A site, they would have a numbers advantage, but no, looks like it's going to be a fast rotate off of A site. Presumably towards B, because that is where this KJ is trying to take space, but so not even allowing for any space to be taken. Plan's going to come down for the side of Clark, going to be a retake. B is the easiest site to retake on this map. So this is kind of where you want Clark to plant, but you got to find these picks. This Jet down to 10 HP after a fight with Soap. And now Terps have got to work together. Looks like a lot of them are coming in from mid. And there's a read on it by Clark. Oh, what a shot. Davy Jones gets taken down. Now UMD does not have too many numbers to work off of. And they're going to get Omen Flash. Almost all of them. They're forced to rush in because time is not on their side. And it's a panic rush for the Terps. But no, Trace just doing such a good job. But it just gets overwhelmed by time not being on her side, by these being outnumbered. And now the Terps gotta be on edge a little bit again.
I survived obliteration. Yeah, I mean, they were just on the same side, so they gotta work something out. I mean, I feel like they might be a little more comfortable on this side, especially since that's where they've been for the last while. But the Jet is switching up a little bit and buying an op, going for the glass cannon route. With this, no shields, barely any util, but a very powerful weapon. And this might not be great because the Terps are going to the one side that the op is on.
Yeah, I think as soon as they got that scan off thanks to Trace, kind of deterred them from pushing in as aggressively as they were looking to for a second. But I think they're still thinking about it. Oh, good job from Davy Jones to start things off with a fight going in favor for the Terps. But still, it doesn't look like they've made much progress onto either side, especially with Davy Jones getting taken down, gonna level things out. Now the question is, where will the Terps end up hitting? They're super spread out across the map as it stands right now. And it looks like Clark has that read. Savani, great job taking that operator out of the equation. I wonder if she's gonna pick it up or not. I guess we'll see. But still, it just looks like Terps are now in a space where they're able to group up together towards C site. Soap has got to win this fight garage. And now Savani's going to dash in with the help of that Soap utility. Thanks to Trace. And yeah, Soap does win that fight garage. Things are looking so good for the Terps as it stands right now. All that stands in their way of double overtime is this one breach. And Soap hears those footsteps coming and able to swing out right on top of that utility. And now the Terps have yet again kept us on our toes. We are headed into double overtime.
Wow, what a nail biter of a game. I mean, we thought the Terps kind of looked like out of this game, coming in halfway through the second half. But now they're pushing it to double overtime, and they got to do something about this defensive side because they know they can win the attack. They just got to win the defense.
Yeah, they've got to have a solid defense here to win this series in 2. It does look like they're being a little passive, with the exception of Savani holding an aggressive angle, but just kind of waiting for Clark to really show their hand. Clark's doing a good job taking garage control, but I'm not sure if they know if Soap is just kind of sitting there or not up close.
If they do end up pushing garage, I don't think they really spam that, but Soaps definitely saw the KJ, I'm assuming.
And Davy Jones and Soap both winning their individual 1v1s. Things are looking good for the Terps. This is how you want to start your defensive round, especially with Trace finding a pick. Oh, everything is just falling into place for the Terps.
Davy Jones, the last 2 kills of the round.
Beautiful round for Davy Jones. Finally, the Terps just, able to have a super decisive round. Now, they've got to win this round. And attack has been their better side. So they really just got to find the confidence, dig deep, win this last round.
Yeah, I mean, the Jet bought the op again, but the Jet decided to post up in mid, but it doesn't look like any Terps are going over there.
Carrot's just trying to creep up towards Sealong. Just gonna wait patiently, for the smoke to do its thing.
This would be a perfect hit if UMD hits C site because all 4 players are off to the right of the map.
Yeah, especially garage control is free right now if Soap wants to take space there. But no, looks like instead she's going to be more cautious about this flank. I would have loved to see her take garage and just kind of wait for, retake players to come through that way. All they've got to do is take care of this KJ who's sitting behind these boxes. And this KJ just wreaking havoc as she's able to take down 2. Finally, Carrot's response to level things out. Spike gonna come down, which means the time crunch is going to be on the side of Clark.
They are aware that Carrots might be lurking. Oh, sorry, not Carrots, Soap.
Yeah, they're certainly looking towards Soap's direction, but
Soap's gonna get the flank here.
Oh,
does get 1.
Nice job from Soap, but just down to a 1v1 to win the series. Spike is ticking down. Just gotta play this perfectly, and no!
It's that 140 headshot with the Phantom.
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Oh my gosh. That's why I can't play Phantom. I just can't, because if it happened to me, no. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, time out coming in for the Terps to take a breather. And I think we all need one at this point as we're about to head into triple overtime.
Yeah, I mean, they won this round, they won this side the last round, so they might, I think that's what Dusty's going to talk to them about, is maybe doing something really weird that would hopefully catch Clark off guard and potentially win the round, and then all they have to do is lock in for the attack round, and that's the game.
Such a close and competitive second map here we've had. That was so close, that last round. But yeah, like you said, if there's any indication that the Terps have kind of cracked the code on defense, it's got to be our second overtime round because they're finally able to win that round. So I'm just hoping they kind of stick with what they did, because they did a really decisive round win on defense last time, and they did so by being aggressive.
No, they really did. And just coming out of this timeout here, I don't think we're gonna see any kind of deviations from the regular gun buys, but it was a really good shot by Soap in the beginning. Just that one headshot. Man, you hate to see it.
So B aggression is in the books for the Terps yet again because it worked out so well for them. And look, it's working out beautifully for them this round as they're able to find 2 opening picks, almost 3 with that Jet peeking out. Thought we were going to, you know, find even more success off of that, but we just kind of backed Clark up into a corner here. They're forced to rotate right into Carrot's hands on to C side. Yeah, and Carrots just has full awareness of that, going to spray through that smoke. Does a little bit of damage to the Sova. Finally going to take down that Sova too. Things are looking beautiful for the Terps. They're just going to continue to even look better as Savani takes down that breach down to a 1v5. And a flawless defensive round for the Terps. They have cracked the code on defense, but now they've got to win the attack. They just got to...
And they've done it before, they can do it again. I have full confidence that they're going to cook something up here and maybe play a little weird. We don't see the Jet buying the op, so that's a decent sign. I mean, granted, it's a very powerful weapon and it creates so much pressure on a round because now you're having to figure out, okay, where's this op being played? But they have 3 stacked towards A. This might be a rotate, maybe, if they can figure out how many people are here, unless they get a pick.
Yeah, this is the more heavily stacked site, and their only chance here is just completely overwhelmed. Trace's utility does such a good job at selling out the defenders on site. So good of a job that they're able to take down 2 of the defenders, but no, they didn't take care of this breach, and they're just causing so many issues right outside of short there. Soap has conditioned this flank round after round. And no, she gets caught with her knife out and gets taken down. So unfortunate. Gonna put things at a 2v2.
I mean, I really like this positioning from both of the Terps here because if one player peeks in, they have to both peek them. And if they double swing,
one enemy remaining. Last player standing.
1v1, and Trace is able to take the last kill.
Okay, nice job by the Terps. Huge sigh of relief all around as you can see the look on Trace's face. Oh my gosh, finally able to take home a game in 2 rounds in the studio. I feel like we haven't had a 2-map victory here all semester. But yes, the Premier GC able to get it done for the Halloween stream. Just still massive sighs of relief all around. Fiend immediately.
Yeah, we do hear
starts
Fiend.
Playing.
I mean, what a comeback though! Like,
yeah, what a comeback.
They came back from 6 to 12 and won it at what 16-14, or something like that.
Yeah, just incredible round for the Terps. Something to be proud of, something to feel good about as they head into the rest of their week. So thank you all so much for watching this super intense stream. We want to thank our sponsors, Playwire, the College of Journalism, Philip Merrill College of Journalism,
as well as Union on Knox too,
and Recwell, which is the program that governs esports. So great.
We wouldn't be here without them. So very thankful. But thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a very fun experience for both of us, and we hope that you guys had a really good experience too. I'm sure the players are very, very happy with all the costumes, and they get to take a pretty nice win, 2-0 over Clark, and I'm pretty sure these players are going to have a pretty nice evening.
Yeah, certainly. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
And happy Halloween.
Bye, guys.